The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today we're breaking down the latest news surrounding the New York Jets. Everything from Russell Wilson to Brendan Sorsby to Frank Reich and the Duke of Defense, Brian Duker. Matt O'Leary is going to join me to talk all things New York Jets. It is the Jake Asman Show. Let's go, Knicks. Let's hit it and get it started.
We're sitting in here, we're excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go!
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and of course, you like every single video. We got a lot to talk about with the Jets. I also want to share that the latest episode of the Jets Collective will be live later today at 2:30 Eastern time. So if you're watching this before, join us live. If you're watching this after, make sure you check out the latest episode. A lot to cover with Rich Samiti and Brandon Tierney. That's on the brand new Jets Collective YouTube channel. Let's say hello right now to our guy, Matt O'Leary, who joins us at this time every single Thursday. Matt, I know you're an Islander fan, but, you know, they wear orange and blue. So do we have you on the Knicks bandwagon now with the same color scheme?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Look, I can't claim it as a championship if the Knicks go on and win, but I think it'd be great for the city if the Knicks win a championship. So up 2-0, got to feel pretty good right now about those New York Knicks.
Pray for OG Anunoby's hamstring or quad or ankle or whatever he might have tweaked at the end of the game. We'll see. But Knicks certainly in the driver's seat, up 2-0. As far as the Jets, we have rookie minicamp coming up this weekend, so it'll be fun to see, you know, some of the rookies out there, what jersey numbers they ultimately wear. Hopefully we get those official numbers at some point. But there was a lot of different things that has happened over the last couple of days, including this from Russell Wilson yesterday. I'm going to play it. This is Russ talking with the New York Post, and he says the Jets have made him an offer to be Geno Smith's backup QB.
New York City, the Jets, how did that go? Your visit out there?
It's great. They offered me, and I'm trying to figure out what's the next best thing to do and all that. And just, I still know I can play ball and do that at a high level, but also, I think that, the opportunity to do TV too is great. So we'll see what happens.
What would it mean to be teammates with Geno again in that kind of opposite role that you guys were in before?
Well, Geno's a great guy, man. We've been great friends, great teammates, but I'm just focused on the day.
And the last thing is, you mentioned the broadcasting. What would that be like for you? You'd be great at it.
There's a lot of great networks and a lot of things, and obviously there's a great opportunity for me, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I just love football. I love ball, being in it in every way, staying ready to play too, and just every day I'm training and getting ready. But also too, I think I have a lot of great opportunities. The great news is there's a lot of great opportunities. I think playing 14 plus years has been amazing for me, and I'm just grateful I get to do what I love to do. Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited.
Matt, your thoughts on the Jets apparently offering Russell Wilson a contract to be their backup QB?
Well, we'll see, right? We're just waiting on pins and needles to see if Russell Wilson will be QB2 for this football team, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to use this as leverage to maybe get more out of CBS to make the jump to TV. But for him, I guess low moving cost, right? With the Giants last year and now potentially going over to the New York Jets. there's not a ton of great quarterback options out there. If the Jets are still looking for a veteran quarterback, it seems like it's really him or Cooper Rush. So pick your poison there, and we'll see what he ends up deciding, I guess.
I just don't see why Russell Wilson wants to keep playing. Like, why be a backup? Dude, you played 14 years. You were on a Hall of Fame arc. Anyone who says, by the way, that you can't hurt your legacy after you've established yourself just is not watching the career of Russell Wilson, or even, maybe Bill Belichick, if you want to use a different football example. But why, Russ? Go be on TV. Go be a celebrity. You don't need to play football anymore. And anytime I hear a guy being like, I'm thinking about going to do TV, or I'm thinking about playing, like, if you're already thinking about retirement, you basically have retired in my mind, especially when you haven't been good the last time we've seen you play over the last couple of years. I just don't see why the Jets are infatuated with Russell Wilson, where they'd even offer him a contract in the first place.
Yeah, it's certainly been a pretty steep decline ever since he left Seattle. It didn't go very well in Denver. Didn't go great in Pittsburgh, and lost his job very quickly with the New York Giants. Like I just said, it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of veteran quarterback options out there, if that's what the Jets are still, looking for, adding another vet to this room. But with Russ, you kind of, I like how you laid that out. Like, he's made a ton of money in this league. He's a Super Bowl champion. At some point, you just got to hang it up. And maybe with the talk of him getting into TV, now might be the time for him to just make that jump.
I hope, and I think you brought this up when we were just talking about this briefly off air. I hope he's just saying this to try and get more money from these TV networks, and not the other way around with the Jets, because the Jets do not need Russell Wilson. They really don't. But maybe CBS thinks they need Russell Wilson, or Fox or NBC, whoever is competing with, for the services of Russell Wilson, the TV analyst, which I don't even know if Russ would be that good on TV, but I'd rather him go on TV than we have to deal with it as Jet fans. Because the problem is, just knowing the Jets' circumstances, these backups all end up playing, and I just don't feel like watching Russell Wilson in the year 2026.
I get that. Yeah, I totally do. And I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't know. He's kind of a boring personality. Like, I don't know if he'd be all that great on TV. Like, I know they're shoving Jameis down our throats, his former teammate, but at least he has a little bit of personality, and it kind of makes sense to have him on camera. Russell, I don't really see it, but if that saves, him from coming to the New York Jets, then so be it. I'll deal with him on CBS on the pregame shows.
Unbelievable. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line today. Matt O'Leary with us here. Here are the raffle prizes for Saturday's raffle. Reminder for those of you who are new to the show, we give away 3 to 5 signed items every week, and we typically give away a prize at the end of our 2 shows each day. Joe Namath signed helmets, our top prize this week. Richard Todd signed jersey, Boomer Esiason signed helmet, and a Vinny Testaverde signed jersey are the weekly prizes. And Joe Klecko signed helmet is the prize at the end of our shows today. So a signed helmet by one of the all-time greats, Joe Klecko, up for grabs on our show. Some other Jet news. They made all 3 of their coordinators available yesterday, Matt. Let's go at the start of the biggest one, I think the most headline-worthy press conference. Frank Reich, first time we've heard Frank Reich speak since he was named new Jet OC. What did you take away from listening to Frank talk about the Jets and the Jet offense?
Yeah, to me, what stood out was him talking about the challenge and how he wants to be a part of turning this thing around. He seems a little broken, like all of us Jet fans, and wants to be here for the turnaround. And supposedly was very re-energized, I believe his words were, on becoming the Stanford interim head coach. So hopefully that translates over to him as the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets. But I kind of chuckled to myself when he was asked about, hey, there's not like a great quarterback here in place, and there was some question marks about this offense. And he was like, yeah, but I want to be the guy who fixes it. So good on him for taking that challenge.
What are your thoughts on Frank Reich saying that Geno Smith is the perfect fit for the offense?
Sure. I guess, right? Like, I just think they're kind of going to ask Geno to manage games. And at this point in Geno's career, I'm hoping that he could do that at a higher level than what we saw from, Justin Fields or Brady Cook or even Tyrod Taylor last year. I don't think we're going to see Geno ascend to being like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but can he be functional in this offense? That I could get behind, but perfect fit maybe seems like a stretch.
So Geno Smith was at the Knicks game last night, and Jamie Stewart, big Jet fan, he works for Newsday, took this selfie of Geno in the back, but he also actually had a conversation with Geno Smith. Jamie said that Geno had not heard Frank Reich's comments, but Geno told him that he loves Frank Reich. Geno said that he loves that Frank played the position, and he thought that the Jets killed it in the draft. So there's your Geno Smith update. The relationship that Geno has with Frank Reich, how quickly they could get on the same page, that's the biggest thing for the Jets to have a season that actually could give us, some moments of feeling like, wow, we could be football fans and root for our team to win. Like those two guys getting on the same page, Geno playing competent football with the pieces that I think they've added. Like that's the key. Like the two most important Jets in 2026 in my mind are the offensive coordinator and the quarterback.
Yeah, I think you're right to say that, because quarterback play, as we know, can really derail a season if it goes wrong. And these guys haven't worked together in the past, but Geno seems to fit the bill of what Frank Reich looks for in a quarterback. So it's important to see these guys get on the same page. It's they went polar opposite from their last offensive coordinator. They went with the young, hot shot and Tanner Engstrand, and it clearly didn't work out with Justin Fields and how they were planning to do their offense a year ago. And it feels like they're going the complete opposite direction. A quarterback who's, not really a run first guy, is not afraid to push the ball down the field, and an offensive coordinator and a quarterback coach too, if you want to include Musgrave in that, who has a ton of experience and, isn't that young and up and coming guy, but you're just hoping is still in the game and gets it with where things are going now in 2026.
Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. This was Frank Reich yesterday talking about Geno Smith and him being the fit of all fits for the New York Jets.
I think he fits perfect. I've liked Geno from day one. When he was coming out of West Virginia, I had a high grade on Geno. I'd not met Geno before here, and I'm kind of glad because I'm even more impressed with him now meeting him in person. I feel his resilience, his toughness. I always think the number one attribute in any quarterback that you need, especially you want to come and turn something around, is you need someone who's tough. I mean, tough mentally, tough physically, and I feel that from Geno on every front. I think his experience, the ups and downs that he's been through, and he's had great success and had to deal with some tough seasons. And if you play in this league long enough, everyone's going to face that. And if you are the person, if you're the right kind of leader, then you come out of it better. And I think that's the version of Geno Smith we're getting. We're getting the best version of who he is, and I think his best football's ahead of him.
The best version of Geno Smith. That would break multiple Jet records if we get one of those Seattle seasons this year in 2026.
Yeah, can he go for like 4,500 yards and over 30 touchdowns, break, the Ryan Fitzpatrick touchdown record and Joe Namath's passing yards record? And it's been well documented. The Jets haven't had a 4,000-yard passer since, but man, I'd sign up for like 3,525 right now. That feels greedy to be talking about 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
Man, the best season of his life. Geno Smith, man, he's thrown for 4,000 yards 2 of the last 4 years. Only one Jet quarterback has ever gone for over 4,000 yards, and it was back in 1967. So if you believe in due, Matt, the Jets are due.
Yeah, they've been due for a long time, Jake.
So that's the Frank Reich angle. I didn't get a chance to play any of the Duke of defense yesterday. Full disclosure, first press conference, first time DC. Maybe he was a little nervous, but I thought he looked like he was going to shit his pants up there, to be totally transparent. What were your thoughts on Brian Duker before I play you my favorite piece of sound from his presser?
My thought was, okay, this is going to be Aaron Glenn's defense. And I don't mean that as a disrespect to Duker. I'm sure he's going to have, an integral role in the game planning and stuff like that. But he didn't seem like a guy who was ready to take the bull by the horns.
This was the Duke of defense being asked. So what exactly do you do around here?
Brian, how do you see that role with AG? He's calling the defense, but what do you see as your role as a defensive coordinator, and how can you help him?
Absolutely. First and foremost, my role here is to help AG, right, and help him put him in great positions that he does a great job calling the game. But outside of that, from the defensive coordinator role, there's certainly some details and some coordination of the little things that need to be taken care of that sometimes just based on the plate of responsibilities that the head coach has, that it helps if someone can handle some of those. So some of the finer details and just some of the little things that I can help stay organized, again, any way I can help him be better, that's what I'm trying to do.
Details and coordination of the finer details. We got a lot out of the Duke defense yesterday.
Coordination. Wow. For the defensive coordinator, the groundbreaking stuff. Love it.
I mean, you said it best. It's the Aaron Glenn show defensively. Like Brian Duker, his job is to make sure Aaron Glenn gets the coffee exactly the way he likes it every single day.
Yeah, it's like the Nathaniel Hackett quiet quit in 2024, I guess, right?
I mean, it's just crazy that, they interviewed like 8 people initially for the DC job. The Wink Martindale thing falls apart. They have a Zoom call with Duker the next day, and then he gets the job the following day. That was the process.
They just needed a warm body, right? Someone to put to have their in title who's not going to push Aaron Glenn for, any insight. Obviously, Wink Martindale's more of a personality, and I think it would have been Wink's defense more than Aaron's defense. I don't think we have to worry about, Brian Duker trying to take over the Aaron Glenn defense here.
The Duke of defense, Brian Duker, he defers to whatever Aaron Glenn wants. No one asked him this yesterday, so hopefully someone will ask him the next time he speaks. What is Brian Duker's superpower?
Play call is my superpower, really.
We got Glenn's superpower. I want to know what the Duke of defense's superpower is.
Keurig machine.
Makes a mean espresso. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some gifted memberships to shout out. First, the 1977 T-Man is the first listener to enter for a chance to win today, to win an autographed Joe Klecko helmet.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
1977, thank you. Your gifted membership went to SB24 Projects. But wait, there's more. The Austrian Jet fan back for more in the raffle for one.
Hello, you play to win the game.
That membership went to listener Jesse Honig 54. So Austrian Jet fan and 1977, you guys are in the raffle. Appreciate both of you for supporting the show. Did you get anything out of the Chris Banjo presser? To me, the most notable thing is just what we thought it would be with the kicking situation. Wide open competition.
Yeah, no surprise there. I still don't really think the Jets opening day kicker is on the roster. I'm not very confident in Cade York or the UDFA that they added, but it'll be a competition over the summer. I also thought it was interesting the Arian Smith praise that he was tossing out there too. So they clearly like him in a special teams role. We'll see, I guess, what that looks like in 26, if that's expanded more now on the offensive side of the ball.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's here. Matt O'Leary is joining me as we talk all things Jets. The Gus Buster Umbrella hotline link is about to be posted. So if you want in on the conversation, we'll certainly do some calls with Matt as we always do here on a Thursday. A lot to talk about following the Jets coordinator speaking yesterday. Russell Wilson saying that the Jets have a contract offer on the table. And speaking of contracts, there were some mixed reports this week about what exactly the Jet offer is or will be to running back Breece Hall. What's your take on Breece? Do you think ultimately the Jets will get a deal done with their running back?
Yeah, I do expect them to get something done between now and the July 15th deadline. I just think with how both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji speak on Breece Hall, it feels like someone that they want to keep around. And I'm all for that. I think, a lot of these deals, whether it's a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, really it's closer to guaranteed money in the first 2 years, and you kind of get out of it going into year 3. So it'd be this year and then year 1 with a rookie quarterback. And I've talked about it a lot, but Breece Hall, I think, would really fit or help out with a young quarterback in 2027 and both the running game and the passing attack. So I would like to keep him around personally. And I think you could use, Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker, 2 guys who signed this past offseason, as templates for what the contract would look like for Breece Hall.
This was the report from Connor Hughes after Boomer Esiason said that the Jets offered a 4-year, $60 million deal. Hughes said, looked into the report. Sources on both ends of the negotiation insist that was never on the table. Hall and the Jets would like to get something done. I'd expect them to re-engage soon to try and find common ground. That specific deal, though, was not presented, they say. I believe this because if the Jets offered 4 years, $60 million, I think Breece Hall takes that in a second.
Yeah, that was going to be exactly my take. I think if that really was offered, we would have heard about a contract signing already at this point. So we'll see. I'm sure Breece's camp would love for it to get up that high. I don't see the Jets in that ballpark. 4 for 48, maybe it gets over 50 million if they're going for 4 years, but I think 60 seems like a stretch.
I think you're spot on with that one. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Breece Hall, ultimately, if he gets a deal or not, I don't think this is going to be he's going to hold out if he doesn't get a contract. Like, I don't think he's going to Le'Veon Bell this situation. And like, if he wants to be paid by someone or he doesn't want to be a Jet, so he doesn't want to sign a deal, well, he needs to still have a big season so we can get the money that he covets anyway. So I'm not really worried about Breece Hall, not being able to perform if he doesn't get a new contract. I know some are. I'm not there. Are you?
No, I'm not there either. Because like you said, then go out and play well in 2026 and get yourself paid or get yourself traded at the trade deadline. There's multiple ways that it could still be successful for Breece Hall. And he's getting paid, good money this year on the franchise tag. 14 million is a lot for a running back. So, and it's guaranteed money for him this year too, if that's what he ends up playing on. So I think it's a win-win for both sides as they look to, get something done. That's still where I'm at. I think they do end up getting a contract done before that deadline. But if that's not the case and I'm wrong, doesn't really matter. My expectations for him don't change.
Black Gypsy says, just pay Breece so we can move on without any drama before the season starts. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, the Jets have $150 million in next year's projected cap space. They're not really paying anyone on this team. Who's making big money on this team right now besides Garrett? And his extension doesn't even kick in for another year. I don't see why you wouldn't keep Breece. Like, running back contracts are not egregious compared to other positions. He's a good player. You're trying to set the foundation for whoever the long-term answer at quarterback might be in 2027. I don't see why you wouldn't just pay him.
Yeah, have all the weapons you possibly can for when you add that quarterback in 2027. I think, that would be my plan. We always seems like for Jets fans go into the season when you have a young quarterback and you're going, I don't know how I feel about this, skill position group. I don't think you would have those questions if you have Breece Hall back with Kenyon Sadiq and Mason Taylor and, the wide receiver room in which they have. So I'm down. Let's get a contract done and just make life easy for a young quarterback.
Amen. Jet Life Angel says, good point, Jake. He has to play good ball if he expects someone to pay him. Yeah, like, people are like, oh, he doesn't want to be a Jet. Okay, well, him playing great for the Jets is good for him and the Jets, because if he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal, well, if he balls out, someone's going to pay him a lot of money. Like, but I don't think people are like, oh, he doesn't want to be here. I think Breece is frustrated with all the losing. I think he wants to win. I think he also wants to be paid. I don't think Breece Hall is going to turn down guaranteed money because there's a chance he could hit free agency a year from now. At that position, he's already been hurt. Running backs get hurt all the time.
Yeah, he's already been hurt. And from the Jets side, I think it's beneficial for them to get something done this offseason rather than waiting till next offseason when there's a lot of big name running backs who are due for new contracts. I think the price tag goes up for Breece Hall a year from now.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Matt O'Leary is with us here. We're going to take some calls coming up. So if you want in on the conversation, now's the time. We're presented by PrizePicks. Put $5 in using the code HMA, and you get $50 instantly. I was curious to see what the numbers were for Breece Hall on PrizePicks that you could go more or less on. You want to take a guess what Breece Hall's numbers seem to indicate here for the upcoming season, Matt?
Yeah, I think rushing yards is probably going to be right around 1,000 would be my guess.
So you are very good at this. Breece Hall, his regular season rushing yards is set at 975.5. And again, if he stays healthy, I don't see how Breece Hall does not go over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. He did it last year on a significantly worse team, and he did it in 16 games. So assuming he's playing 17 games and this offense has a little bit more, firepower, and you could actually have a chance of throwing the ball, that'll open things up for Breece. So I like more on that as well.
Breece Hall, 975.5 rushing yards. Rushing touchdowns, 5.5. That one to me feels right. Like that's kind of right where I would expect it. The receiving yards, I still like him to go more than 325 because I think they're finally going to have a coach and a quarterback that could find Breece Hall creatively out of the backfield. And Breece has gone over this number every year of his career besides year one when he was hurt.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like 325, that feels a little bit on the low end. Now, maybe they're thinking guys like Sadiq and Omar Cooper and A.D. Mitchell kind of tack into that. But I still think Breece Hall is going to end up being in the top, I don't know, maybe 3 in targets in the receiving game. So I would expect that number to be honestly probably around 450 if you were asking me now to put a guess on it.
I agree with you. How about this for a comment here? Bigfoot Mike says the Jets are loaded on offense, and there's no reason to not expect a wild card spot. Are you expecting a playoff season, Matt?
I am not personally, but Bigfoot Mike is on his way to Green Bean Island, and I'm sure he is very happy about getting another member. Loaded on, I want to see it actually, play out during the season before I get there, but I am significantly more excited about the potential of this offense than I have in years gone by.
On paper, they have the makings of a real offense. They really do. I know it's like the Jets, huh? But like, again, remove Jets from the logo on the helmet and just look at the players. They have good players.
I know. Can they be like 18th in offense this year? I would sign up for 18th. Top 20 in both offense and defense. What a concept.
What are you expecting from the Sadiq and Taylor combination at tight end?
Yeah, I think Sadiq is that they're going to use both of those guys, but I think Sadiq is going to be more involved in the passing attack. I think the two of them probably combine for between 900 and 1,000 yards, maybe like 650 and 300 for, Sadiq gets the 650, Mason Taylor gets 300. I'm not like, just because they added Sadiq to this roster, like I don't think Mason Taylor goes to a guy who has like 16 catches for $150 on the year. I think he'll still be used in this offense.
I'm fascinated how they get the rookies involved, how quickly. Like, is Omar Cooper going to be the number 2 wide receiver right away? What's A.D. Mitchell's role in all this? Because I know the Jets seem to really like him. Garrett's going to be Garrett. Like, just look, Geno throws a lot, man. He does. Like, and he's not going to be afraid to throw downfield. Like the Jets should have a legitimate passing attack if he's healthy.
Yeah, no, they really should, which is like the polar opposite from what we saw a year ago, where they were very obviously going into the year as a run first team. But then with Justin, it felt like he became very apprehensive as the year went on to pull the trigger. And that's not going to be the case with Geno. There's going to be a lot more interceptions, but I think you live with that if they're actually pushing the ball down the field and scoring some points.
MDP writes in, that sounds like a government name. It's real weird to be talking about the Jets offense possibly being decent and having questions about the defense. I actually think there's more questions about the Jet defense than there is the offense right now.
I totally agree with that, which is bizarre because, we've both watched the Jets for a long time and that's usually not the case. But for me on the defense, I'm still a little concerned about the linebacker room. I love Demario Davis and that addition, but there's a ton of question marks there. And then, I think they're going to have to figure out who's starting where in the secondary, right? Like you brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick, which I like, but who's going to start at the other safety spot? And is D'Angelo Pons playing in the slot? Is he playing outside? What do we see from Easy Thomas in year 2? I agree with this.
If Aaron Glenn is going to save his job, he needs the defense to be respectable, and he really needs Geno Smith to give him a big year at quarterback, stay healthy, and give him a big season.
Yeah, and like I think it's important for this regime for them to win games. They can't afford another 3-win season, so they need to take a significant step on both sides of the football. They have, I feel more confident in the pieces that they have on offense, but if Aaron Glenn's worth a damn as a defensive play caller, they got to get a lot more out of the defense than they did a year ago.
To give people an idea on the Jet offense, they are the only team since the 1970 merger to rank in the bottom 10 in scoring and offensive yards in 10 straight years. They're the only team to play a 16-plus game schedule and not have a single 400-plus yard receiver the previous year. Garrett Wilson led them last year with 395. He barely played after the month of October. So if you believe in we are due for an offense that is not historically inept.
Would be nice.
How about average? If they're an average offense, just to end that streak of being bottom 10, I think we'd time for that.
No, exactly. We're not even talking about a great. It'd be fantastic if they were great on offense and defense. But my goal is just be a normal football team, like be watchable. Last year at 3-14, for most of the year they were unwatchable, and not all 7-win seasons are built the same way, obviously, but. If they look just much more competitive and they're hanging around in games and they're scoring points and, their defense steals some games, I think we feel a little bit better about this team going into 2027 than if we, just see this team go 3 or 4 wins again in 2026.
Matt O'Leary is my guest. Reminder, if you ever missed the live YouTube show, I posted in audio form on Apple and Spotify. So listen to the Jake Asman Show wherever, if you can't watch it every single day, twice a day, live on YouTube. Let's get to some of your calls. Anything you want to talk about, Jet related, Knicks related. Let's go. Knicks up 2-0 on Philly. Your calls. We go. Hit it. Oh, wow. He's inside V-Man's bedroom today, folks.
Love it.
Well, it's an homage to his triumphant return to the show yesterday.
Epic call from V-Man yesterday, Matt. You're going to have to go back and watch my second show.
I love V-Man. I'm in.
So you have to think that the offer that the Jets have out there is probably closer to the veterans minimum than not, right? You would hope that Muji would have learned from the Fields debacle and overpaying for quarterbacks. And, he's basically got Russ right where he wants him. If Geno wants him as his caddy, like, I would hope he's coming at our price. And this whole thing with this imagined leverage between multiple networks and the Jets is just something that, he's trying to play out. But I don't see it. I don't love it. But I think if it does happen, it's not going to cost us much. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Breece. I'm not crazy about paying him long term. I know that they've talked about the parameters of a deal. I don't think Kenneth Walker is really a good comp because of his inability to catch the ball. I think Breece is going to say, I'm better than that guy. And considering the draft next year and all these running backs that are coming out, like Q1 Lacey and Hardy and some of these other guys, like, do we not think that we could probably get one of these stud guys in the second round to replace him at like a third or fourth the cost? Like, I don't want to be less than prudent in our approach to Breece. If it makes sense at our price, by all means, bring him back. But it's just a matter of we're going to have a lot of cash to work with next year, and we still have a lot of holes, like inside linebacker. Do we feel like we're really set at safety now? Do we think that interior defensive line we're set at? Do we think interior offensive line we're set at? I feel like we could probably cherry pick 2, 3, 4 guys in free agency and to fill holes solidly rather than just going all in on Breece. And I wanted to hear what you guys thought about that.
I do agree that the contract certainly matters, but I also think the Jets are positioned to have so much cap space that they can afford to overpay slightly if it means you don't have to deal with the drama and you get it done. Like, this is like, look what the Raiders grossly overpaid for Linderbaum, but they could because they had the most cap space in the league and they wanted to set the foundation for their top pick. I look at Breece similar. I'm not going to give him the contract that Linderbaum got and grossly overpay like that, but I think if they offered Kyle 3 years, $45 million with the first 2 of it guaranteed, I think that's a fair contract, and I think that would get it done.
So, Lou B has been pretty staunch that his sources are saying that Breece doesn't want to be here. His friends are like and it kind of shows in his body language on the sidelines and some of the posturing and his tweets and such. And the only thing true that really resonated that Salah ever said is that we want volunteers and not hostages. So that's only the reason I'm kind of a little bit wary of Breece.
Which is a Tomlin line, by the way. That's
was it a Tomlin line?
Yeah.
Did he co-opt that from Tomlin? That's cool.
Yeah, he got that from Mike Tomlin. Hopefully, the future head coach of the New York Jets.
There we go. There's no word whatsoever on OG yet, right?
I have not seen anything, which might not be a bad thing. Might be a bad thing. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I signed
saw
for him to be ready for game 1 of the next round right now. If you told me that's what I had to sign for.
Right. I think they could probably still get past the Sixers without him, especially considering they're up 2-1 and the Sixers have their own injury problems. But it's not preferable by any stretch of the imagination. Him and Cat are both playing out of their minds this entire playoff. So it was really, really hopeful to have a team that, as you imagined it, ready to go in and at least challenge the West in the finals if we could make it there. Yeah, that's all I have today, guys. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton, live from the V-Man room. Yeah, I mean, OG 2 years ago in the second round against the Pacers, the Knicks went up 2-0. He hurt his hamstring in the Game 2 win. He didn't come back till Game 7, played 3 minutes, couldn't move, was not going to be able to give you the Willis Reed moment, and the Knicks ultimately lost that series. But that's the playoffs, man. War of attrition. Embiid's banged up for Philly. Hopefully the Knicks get Mitchell Robinson back for Game 3 tomorrow night, but we'll see, man. Injuries suck.
Injuries do suck, and I feel like no one across any playoff, not just the NBA playoff, but no one's fully healthy at this point. Every team is dealing with something. Guys are playing through stuff, so you just got to hope that you gave yourself enough cushion up 2-0 and kind of wait on this injury update.
Comments, questions, your super chats cut the line. For those just tuning in, I saw we had a viewership spike. The Joe Klecko Hall of Fame inscription, signed helmet, up for grabs today on our show. This Saturday, we raffle away the following 4 items: signed Vinny T jersey, signed Boomer Esiason helmet, signed Richard Todd jersey, and a signed Broadway Joe helmet. Those are the top prizes in our weekly raffle number 72, since we started doing them in December of 2024. Let's get to more of your calls right now. SJS Jet is on the line. Hello, SJS.
How you doing? What's up, Jake? How you doing, Matt?
What's
nice
up,
to meet
man?
you, Matt. So I have a question when it comes to Breece Hall. So, of course, you guys feel like a signing will get done. But if a signing doesn't get done, how do you feel like the team will transition? Because having a running back like Breece Hall is very effective in offense. I know before we didn't really have a pass game, so teams were a lot of run heavy. I mean, defense was run heavy where they knew that we was going to run the ball, so they stacked the box. If we don't have that with Breece Hall, with a potential threat, how do you feel like, the offense can transition to the next year?
Matt, break it down.
Yeah, I was going to say for me, I think what would happen if the Jets don't reach a contract with Breece Hall is, he begins the season playing on the tag. If the Jets are out of it, which I think we're all hoping they're not, but if they are, then maybe look to flip him at the deadline. They got offers last year, specifically from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs, signed Kenneth Walker, so I don't think they'd be in on him, but another team, that's looking to kind of put themselves over the top for a playoff spot might be looking for, another running back. So maybe you're trading him at the deadline and then going into next offseason, either, dipping into the free agent running back market outside of Breece Hall or looking into the NFL draft. But, for me, I think you kind of just got to let this year play out and see how it's going for the Jets. Because if they're in the mix and, they're overachieving, maybe they try again with Breece Hall, in the offseason next year. But, at least with running back, as much as I like Breece, there are ways for you to, find replacements easier. It's not easy, but easier at that position than some of the other
Yeah, they would say running back is the easiest position to replace when it comes to the NFL, and teams really don't like to play running backs because of that reason, because they know they can find somebody. And plus, having a running back always taking carries, taking hits, you kind of want a fresh one coming in every time just to kind of avoid injury. So I definitely agree with that too.
Well said. And look, I think in terms of like the usage for Breece, I thought one of the more interesting things Frank Reich said, he immediately goes, look, it's no secret we want to run the ball. And if you look at his teams that he's had, they've had success running the football when he's been the play caller of that offense. I mean, go back and look at some of those Colt teams and some of the seasons that Indianapolis had, running the football. And even in Philadelphia, they had a strong running game. So Breece is going to get his touches. And he had 1,000 yards last year, and his quarterbacks were Justin Fields and Brady Cook for most of the games. I think there's a real opportunity for Breece to have the best year of his career if he's healthy. And he's playing for a contract if they don't get one done before the year starts. So I think that's only going to motivate him as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's kind of twofold. One, the circumstances he's in, I think, will be better than any year that he's played in just about so far. And then you add on top of it, he has the potential to be playing for a long-term contract. A motivated player in a good situation usually tends to yield a career season. So that would not surprise me in the least.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Matt O'Leary is with us here. Let's say hello on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline to a man who's very cool.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Adam.
What's up, Adam?
So yeah, I'm glad you were talking about running backs, but I think that's actually our most dire spot, period, at this point. I feel like with Breece's uncertainty, with the lack of a long-term contract, with the uncertainty with Braylon, and with Isaiah Davis, like we really are thin in reliable running backs at the moment. And we'll have to see what happens with Breece. I don't think we're gonna give him a crazy deal. I think we're gonna have a team-friendly deal for him, and he could take it or he could walk. But like, it would be very Jets-like for us to overpay him, and then he gets injured, and then all of a sudden we've got an injured goods in Breece. And I can't trust our field. We're not keeping the FIFA grass, so I don't think it's a good idea to overpay on Breece. But I also feel like we need to start thinking about backup plans.
They didn't draft anyone, which I thought was a possibility. I mean, I like Braylon Allen, but let's be honest. We have like one moment of Braylon Allen against the Titans a couple of years ago, and like the great drive against Miami this year where he was dominating until he had the fumble, then got hurt on a kickoff later that game. Like, there's a lot of we like Braylon Allen, and oh my God, this huge highlight in a training camp practice, but there's not enough on the field to feel confident in him. That's why I think just pay Breece. We can debate how good he is or what. Like, just keep him. Give him a 3-year deal, two of it guaranteed, and let's not have any drama when we have all this cap space anyway, and we're not paying anyone else right now.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
No, I'm in full agreement. I'm not the biggest Braylon Allen guy. I just don't think he's shown enough to me in the regular season. He's really only had that one good game against Tennessee. His yards per attempt are below 4 in both of his. He had 4.2, but still last year. But for his career, it's right around 4 yards, which I don't think he's a lead back, and he's got to prove it coming off the injury. So. Without the long-term guy there, if they can't get something done with Breece Hall, then of course that's a position that, whether it's the draft or free agency a year out, it's kind of hard to say what it would be, but yeah, they would absolutely need to, do some major work in that room for the following season.
Yeah. I thought that deal that was floated, the 15 million a year for 4 years, I thought that was actually quite fair, honestly. Like if Breece wants more than that, I don't think you go higher than that, honestly, because he's not like he has an injury history, unfortunately, and it wasn't like he was a 1,500 yard back. He was a 1,000 yard back. So I think that he's a great player. I'd rather have him than not, but I also wouldn't overpay. And then I guess devil's advocate is that Kenyon Sadiq's going to probably take some of that rushing yards too. And so maybe he's sort of running back 4 in some regards, not Kene necessarily, but it'll be interesting to see what we do. The Braylon Allen one actually is really fascinating. Like what do we do? What do we do with him? Where does he carve a role in? Because like those
I think he's the number 2 running back. I don't think he hasn't earned a bigger role at this point.
No, but like, what is he, a third down back? Like what? I'm curious what his role is, because I know we keep hoping that he's the third down back, the one that needs to get that chunk yard. But now we got Kenyon Sadiq, who honestly might be that one, might be that person if he's performing, because he's just that much more athletic.
You think they're going to use Sadiq out of the backfield as a running back?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about with Omari yesterday. I think when we look at Sadiq's overall yardage, I think receiving yards is one thing, but I think he will be used in the backfield a little bit as well. And I think
maybe
that would
on
be
like
awesome.
end arounds and screens, but I don't think they're going to use him like, hey man, Geno's handing it off to Sadiq and he's running up the middle. I don't think we're going to see that.
Why couldn't he be, or could he have a fullback role with his strength? I mean, that's the whole thing we have. We have insane athleticism, right?
He could line up out of that spot. I don't think it's going to be nearly as prevalent as you're talking about. I still think Braylon Allen has a role in this team in true yardage.
Okay. I hope he does. Well, I hope he delivers on it. That's what we're all hoping for. And I think that's where we've been frustrated, because we feel like we got to get that, that 3rd and 2. And Breece just had a huge had a huge run. And he's a little gassed, like he gets sometimes, like anyone would when he runs that quickly and that far. And then you need that second, you need that just double down on the rush during that drive. And I want Braylon to be that guy, but I also think that he could. It would be interesting to see if that's the ace in the hole that Reich's cooking up, because that would be very cool in my head, in my opinion. So. Anyway, I'm glad we're talking about the running back room. That was my question, and you nailed it. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good. Congrats on the win. Good job, Knicks.
Adam, you're very cool. Love it. Let's see. How about Boomtown going in on Bang Mateo? You still high on Will Campbell? Bang Mateo is just going in on Geno Smith. Like, bang. We know Geno Smith is not a great quarterback. We also know that he played at a solid level for multiple years in Seattle not that long ago. And last year, the Raiders situation was a mess. So we don't need to compare Drake May's second year to any year Geno's ever had in his life. We all would take Drake May over Geno Smith. No one is trying to tell you otherwise. You get so mad. And
why bring up 2014 Geno? What does 2014 Geno Smith have to do with anything?
It doesn't matter. Like, we're talking about Geno Smith as currently constructed in the year 2026. And I think that player, if protected, can still be a top 18 quarterback in the league. Like, I don't think we're expecting Geno Smith to be great. I think he's got enough weapons, though, where the Jets can function as an offense.
Well, Jake, even if he was the 22nd best quarterback, that's an upgrade over what they had from last year. They couldn't throw the ball in pretty much any of the games that they played. Their owner said as much at what was it, the owners' meetings last year or whenever that was. But point being, it's a very low bar for Geno Smith to clear. And look, even if he's 70% the guy that he was in Seattle, that's an upgrade for what the Jets, have put out there.
Big upgrade, no doubt. More of your calls right now, and then we'll say goodbye to Matt. So make sure if you want in on the conversation, you get in. Plus, only 2 raffle entries right now, and we got a hell of a prize. It's a Joe Klecko signed football. So I'm going to gift 5 memberships because I'm in a giving mood. But here's what I want you to do if you want one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure before I do this, you have in your settings the button that you got to press to be eligible to receive a gifted membership. 5 memberships from yours truly about to go to the community. So make sure you have that setting turned on. We only have 90 likes. Let's get over 100 and we'll gift 5 memberships shortly. But right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline, we say hello to this man.
Purple about Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that purple belt Mike. Purple belt Mike, it might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Oh, fuck.
Nice legs.
And the
What's up, PBM?
gym. Yeah, I just wanted to know if you want to go on a boat trip. We won't take any pictures. It'll be me and you for 3 hours. With Diana Rossini. What do you think?
I'm in. Let's do it.
I heard they recreated the scene in Titanic where they're at the top of the ship.
Yeah, that's that's what was happening. That she had a little bit of a belly going on, you know, because she was 8 months pregnant or some shit like that.
Very
Never-
romantic. The internet for PBM, not great. Not good.
No.
Terrible.
Poor PBM.
Almost as bad as Mike Vrabel cheating on his wife with an NFL reporter who was 8 months pregnant.
I hate to laugh.
The story just doesn't end, man. It really is unbelievable.
Every day it feels like there's a new update and it just gets worse.
This was from inside the NBA last week before this boat story came out last night. They were ahead of their times, man. Here's the state of Boston sports. Gone fishing, baby. Red Sox, last place. Celtics, eliminated. Bruins, eliminated. Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini, enjoying the Titanic waters. You hate to see it.
Brutal.
Let's see. Ozzy in the raffle for one. Thank you, Ozzy Fullers. You are in the Asmaniac raffle. What a country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much to Ozzy Fullers. Ozzy, your gifted membership went to listener Michael Gert Painting. So, Michael, you're a channel member, and Ozzy, you are in the Asmaniac raffle. Couple super chats, and again, I'm going to give 5 memberships shortly here. John Bogo checks in. Rumor has it Drummond is still poking at the ball with the broom. Go New York, go New York, go. That was a great moment last night. Cat immediately took the broom, knocked the ball out, and the Garden crowd went crazy as only you could at Madison Square Garden. But yeah, that was awesome, and I'm glad the Knicks won. And I keep checking Twitter throughout this entire stream I'm doing here with Matt to see if we're going to get some sort of OG update.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Super chat here from the Kyle Clifton. He's in the raffle for 2. Would you rather 4 years of Breece at $15 million per, or look to tag him back to back at a total cost of $32 million and be able to trade him easily at either of the next 2 deadlines? I just think there's a lot of drama if you do that for 2 years. Like, I don't think you want to treat a player that way. I think you're trying to lay the foundation, have Breece be bought into the team concept, show up to the voluntary stuff. Like, I don't think we need to play that game. Like, give him a 3-year deal and work it out, man. It sounds like they're not that far off if you believe what Darren Muji has said in some of the reporting on this. I just think it behooves the Jets to get something done. You don't want the drama in the locker room when there's just so much on the line for this regime this season.
Yeah, and plus, too, like with these 4-year deals, yes, on paper it's a 4-year contract, but they all have outs after 2 years. There really aren't, or even with the 3-year deal, there's usually an out after the 2 years. So, you know, I think you can structure it where if, you know, on paper it's 4 for 60 and the $15 million AAV, the cap hits would never be that over the course of the 4 seasons, and you probably set it up for an out after the 2027 season. And you know, that's the route that I would go. You front load it for the 2 years. If you want to, you know, move on after that, then you can look to move on at that point.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Matt, got some breaking news I wanted to share with you. So yesterday, Charles Gorman had a job interview, and I received this from Charles Gorman on how things went down.
Hey everyone, I'm on my way back home for my job interview. The interview went great. Unfortunately, I did not get the job. Yeah, it stinks, but it is what it is. He required someone with experience of making measurements in regards to suits and pants and shirts. I appreciate all my friends and viewers, subscribers for their support during this time. I really appreciate it. You guys are good people. And I'll see you guys hopefully later tonight when I decide to do some content. Peace out.
Your thoughts on Gorman interviewing for a job, but not ultimately getting it?
Look, I like that he's on the horse, right? He's going to get back out there, keep trying until you get one. And interview experience is great. I'm glad to hear the interview went well, and just take what you learned from that and apply it to the next one. You'll get one eventually.
That's well said. In honor of Charles Gorman having a job interview, I'm about to give 5 memberships to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name called, You are a channel member courtesy of me.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
Here's who should be a happy guy. Harris Barkley, Esco7388, Ron G, and Jordan WSC, all receiving a membership. One more through the cracks. Meno LO 4549, all receiving a membership there from yours truly. All right, Matt. Final couple questions for you here. It is rookie minicamp this weekend. We might get jersey numbers. What number do you want to see each of these rookies rock? We'll do the main players here. Let's start with the number 2 pick in the draft, David Bailey. What is the ideal jersey number for David Bailey?
It can't be 31. I'm sorry. I'm a little old school there. I don't like these pass rushers kind of getting to wear whatever. Either a single digit or something in the 90s. The 31 coming off the edge, I would really start to question if we're in bust territory. So I don't know. Is 99 available? Get him in 99.
99 is Tavondre Sweat, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So another whatever is available in the 90s.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Oh,
he wore 18 in college. I believe 18 is currently worn by Isaiah Williams on the Jets.
Can you flip it and go 81?
You could flip it.
Right. I don't think there's an 81 on the team. That was Dustin Keller's number too, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay. So that's kind of fitting. I like 81 then for Kenyon Sadiq. Flip those numbers.
Omar Cooper Jr. He wore 3 in college.
We're going to have to strip that off Kane and Wanu, I guess, and put that on Kenyon Sadiq.
This is a tough one. D'Angelo Pons. He wore 5 in college. Obviously not available with the Jets. He's comped to Glenn. Could he go with 31 if you don't want Bailey wearing 31?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Give me D'Angelo Pons in 31. A corner in the 30s. That's perfect. And there is no 31 on the team. So, yeah, that's a good fit.
Not going to ask you about Darrell Jackson Jr. or the last 2 picks they made in the 6th and 7th round, but Cade Klubnik, quarterback, is important. He wore 2 in college, 2 with the Jets, was most recently worn by Tyrod, and before that, well, you know. Your thoughts on what number Cade Klubnik should rock?
The only single-digit number that I see available is 1, and I don't want to see him in 1. But how about 12? 12 is available. You just put the 1 in front of
Joe Namath?
No, I guess we can't do the yeah, unretire. Yeah, why not? Right? Abdul Carter
is available. What?
12's available. I'm looking. There's not too many numbers available here. My brain immediately went to 12. It's a good quarterback number. 13's not available. What are they going to put him in?
Is 14 open?
No, McNamara. 13 you can't give him because Don Maynard. My brain turned on and remembered retired numbers.
Is 9 available? No, Will McDonald.
No, Will McDonald.
I hate that the NFL went full college football with the numbers. I hate it. Numbers used to mean something.
So 1 is the only number available between 0 and 19.
Is 19 open?
That's Irv Charles.
He can have Irv Charles's number.
12. What an idiot. That was a good one. Brady Cook. You could take Brady Cook's 4, I guess.
Brady Cook at the Knicks game last night.
Great. Awesome. Brady Cook could wear 31.
Why not? He won't be on the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, man. Ground and Punt watching the show on Twitter says 19 or 17. Is 17 open?
That's whoever Chris Smith II is.
So 17's open.
So 17. 17. There you go.
Oh, man. Matt, you're the best. Appreciate you coming on as always.
Thanks, Jake. Have a good rest of your show.
Matt O'Leary with us. Matt O'Leary NY on YouTube. Subscribe to Matt's channel. He does a great job covering the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, a monstrous super chat from Cisco Lopez. Yeah, let's go. Cisco Lopez getting crazy after Bang Mateo.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
Cisco writes in, Bang, you caught me on my period. We get it. The Jets suck, but can you at least sit let us hope to be better to the hole. I'll tell you what. You want to throw Bang Mateo in the hole, Cisco Lopez? Who am I to tell you otherwise? Ladies and gentlemen, we will see Bang Mateo later.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
I love how Cisco spells hole. W-H-O-L-E. It doesn't matter. We got the point. Enjoy the chat, Cisco. He goes, I can enjoy the chat. Yeah, Bang is done. I don't understand what Bang Mateo's point is, though. That's what's so annoying. Like, he's arguing Geno Smith is not good, and he's bringing up his interception total since 2022. That's not necessarily relevant. Like, yes, last year he was not good. But his previous year in Seattle, well, he did throw more picks. They did win 10 games, and he threw for 4,000 yards. Again, I'm not the biggest Geno guy. That was not my preferred quarterback that they were going to bring in. I preferred Cousins. But we don't need to pretend like Geno Smith is just awful. He's not. He threw for 4,300 yards 2 seasons ago. He's been very durable in his career. Since he became the starter in Seattle, 17 games, 15 games, 17 games, last year 15 games. Like, he could play. So, I don't know why Bang Mateo tunes into a show where he's just constantly negative year round. What's the point of that? But I'll tell you what. Everyone give some love to Cisco Lopez. Hold on. Bang Mateo thinks that he could try and comment from his alias. Bolus Boxing is Bang Mateo's burner account. Nice try, Bang.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
We will see you later. Bang Mateo. Again, it's May. If a Jet fan wants to have some optimism, you could find it, at least from a talent perspective. Like, you go through the offense, it's not bad. Bang Mateo just can't accept that, though. Bang! We'll see you later, Bang. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. If you are sent to the hole and then you comment with a burner account, you're still in the hole. We see right through that. Big fella says, question, has anyone ever bailed themselves out? I don't believe that's ever happened. And I doubt that will happen with Bang Mateo. Bang! But I could be wrong. SJS says it's a better roster on both sides of the ball. No question. No question about it. I have concerns with the coaching, but it's a better roster, 100%. No one can even argue that. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We've had a lot of madness on this show over the last couple of weeks. Asmaniac Madness officially in the books. Lot to get into. We'll get to more of your calls. But first, I want to play you guys what I thought was one of the more impactful rumbles that we've ever seen. Let's take you back to a couple months ago when these two went head to head.
Charles said that because he's a Catholic, he wanted to stay a virgin until he got married. But now he wants to get the flower. Like, do you want to have sex with a girl you never met? Or do you want to stay a virgin until you're married? But this shouldn't surprise us because he flip-flopped on the Jets. If he's not a Jets fan, then going to the comic book convention over watching the Jets would make sense. That's a little gay, I'll be honest. We're not even convinced that there was a comic book convention opposite the Jets.
Gary, fuck you, goodbye.
You see, he's emotional like a woman. He has no testosterone. He can't have a conversation like a man. He's too emotional.
Charles, what's wrong?
Gary cares more about people being gay than worrying about himself.
Holy, I can't believe it. What the?
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of God, goddamn, get ready.
He's basically a woman with a Y chromosome. There's nothing masculine about him. This is a major problem.
And if I was a Colts fan, why do you care?
This is how a man behaves? This is how an irate...
Don't tell me how to be a man, Gary.
All you do is rant and rave like an angry 14-year-old. Look at you. This is how a man acts? You ought to be embarrassed.
You don't tell me how to be a man, Gary.
There's nothing masculine about you. You're completely feminine. You use no logic or reason in anything you say, and you just lash out emotionally like a woman. You're basically a woman with a Y chromosome. That's a problem.
You telling me you basically insulted my parents?
I call it as I see it. If you think that's an insult,
well, at least I'm not a piece of shit like you, Gary, who disrespects women. Goodbye.
Have a good one, Chuck. See, he can't have a conversation. He can't do it. It's like having a conversation with a woman. He can just run away.
Time out. Have a chicken cutlet once in a while. I eat vegetables.
I know.
You don't have this power physique like I do. Wow.
Let's have a civil conversation.
Define civil, you piece of garbage. I can be angry when I want to be. You insulted my family.
Look at this. It's a woman. You weren't raised properly. Yes.
I was raised properly, you piece of shit.
This is what your parents produced.
So fuck yourself, Gary.
Look at you.
Gentlemen, Jesus.
He disrespected my family, and he's a sexist. Oh, vegetables kill people. I've been eating vegetables since I was a child. Having a conversation with Gary's like talking to a fucking brick wall.
Charles, stop cursing. This is God. You don't want to end up in hell with Gary. You just sit there and have to watch 2025 highlights of the Jets season on a loop. And I'm telling you, it's not fun. It's nice to see you laugh, Charles.
Look at how feminized he is. He's sitting there playing a victim. It's pathetic. They called me names. The pretty girls called me fat and ugly. Bro, shut up. What's a phobia? It's a medical diagnosis. What you're saying is that I was medically diagnosed with an ear.
Oh my God. Look up homophobe. HOMOPHOBE.
Oh, you retard? It's because you're retarded. That's why. That's why.
So you're saying I'm retarded?
Yeah, because you don't listen. If you'd shut the hell up and learn something.
Because you're a piece of shit, Gary. I bet you wouldn't even respect your wife.
Oh no. Charles cursed at me. Whatever shall I do? Look at you.
Hold on one second. Charles Gorman is shirtless on hold, and I'm not missing an opportunity to see a man's man body.
Get a shirt on. Go look for a job. Do something. That was a horrible vision, Jake. Enough is enough.
I was actually going to get ready to take a shower, but I did not expect you to put me on with my shirt off.
What are you doing up this late in the day taking a shower?
Well, you look handsome, Charles. You have a great shower, all right?
Get dressed, get a shower, and go out and hit the pavement.
That's why he's a one seat, folks. Did you shave?
Yes, I'll be fine. I've been through worse.
I don't think you want to just walk around with blood on your face.
I'm a little bit overweight. Dave Brigger hates my guts.
Dave writes in, I don't hate you, Charles. That's not accurate. I care for your long-term success. You need to get ambitious.
You're the same guy that called me a bum on the Knicks Shine Show.
You did say F you to him, did you not?
Yes. Fuck you, Dave Brigger, because I was mad at him.
Whoa! And we're back. Hit the like button. Super Chats will cut the line. Just get the 5 memberships earlier. Shout out to SJS, who became a channel member as well. He's in our raffle for one. It's a Joe Klecko autographed helmet up for grabs on the program. Today, we'll do some more calls here. Not going to do a full 2-hour show today. 1, I don't think we need to on May 7th. And 2, I'm doing 3 total shows today because I have the Jets Collective coming up at 2:30. Join me, Brandon Tierney, and Rich Cimini. 2:30, Jets Collective YouTube channel. We'll be live talking all things Jets and certainly get into some of the topics that we've hit on over the last couple of days and get the thoughts of both Rich and BT on that. Let's get to more of your calls before we wrap this baby up. We say hello to Jason in Jerusalem. Hello, Jason.
Hey, Jake. Beast's advice didn't fully work for me yesterday. Is he available? Or is
Beast
he
is
no,
he's unfortunately not available right now. I don't know where he is.
I got to check in with him again next week. The sponge got stuck, and I don't know what to do.
The sponge got stuck. Well, Beast is an expert
He
on
told
things
me I
getting
need to
stuck.
take. Yeah, that too. But all right. Yeah, it's nice to know that one of your callers agrees with me on the numbers. You know, I don't want to have an edge at 31 and things like that. But isn't 11 available because they traded Johnson?
It's a good point. I guess I don't know if anyone's taken 11, but it should be open.
And what number was Mechie? Wasn't he 3?
He was 3. Yep.
So 3 and 11 at least should be available for Klubnik. I definitely don't want him wearing number 2. There's too many nightmares on that regard.
Well, 3 was worn too by Cooper in college, Omar Cooper.
Right. So I have no problem. My guess is he'll keep that. I mean, if they gave it to Mechie, unless they specifically need it for QB.
Actually, Kene Nwanu is listed as number 3 on the Jet website.
Who is?
Kene Nwanu.
The kick returner.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was 34, wasn't he?
I guess he changed to number 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's too confusing now. It's just so much easier with the other,
Bailey Zappi has 11.
And Zappi has 11. Yeah. You think he'll make week 1?
If they sign Russell Wilson now.
Right. Whatever happened with Derek Carr? There was all this talk in the offseason, before the draft about Derek Carr.
He said he wanted to go to the Super Bowl team.
So he's taking on the Saints now, or he just hasn't been reinstated officially?
No, he said he would only play for a team that is a Super Bowl contender. And I'm like, well, I guess you're not playing football because no one's signing you to be a quarterback of a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, the only thing would be if like Purdy breaks his arm or something in preseason and they get desperate type of a thing.
In comes Phillip Rivers again.
Oh, Lord. Falcons will call Matt Ryan up from the front office if both their QBs go down, or rather when both their QBs go down. Invest in both Tua and Penix. At least we don't have the most fragile QB room here.
No, Geno's been durable, man. You go back and look at the games played, like he's been available.
I think if you look back at some of the seasons, specifically the year before Rodgers, if Geno was the quarterback, we're a playoff team. There was plenty of times
definitely.
where if we had serviceable QB, which is Geno was definitely serviceable or better at times. I mean, I don't want to say Pro Bowl because the fact that Shador made Pro Bowl was just ridiculous. The Pro Bowl itself is a joke at this point. Fields at least took the one thing I could say good about Fields is that he decided to decline the Pro Bowl because he realized he wasn't worthy of it.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he went to the Pro Bowl?
But I mean, that happened. I mean, Scoop Hunley made it and he was the backup because they had nobody else. The NFL should just do away with the Pro Bowl already.
I agree with you. That's a separate thing. But to your point on Geno, you're not wrong. Like if Geno was the quarterback in 2023 and he played all 17 games, they'd make the playoffs easily.
Yeah. But I kind of need to disagree a little bit with you about the defense because if you remember what we considered our defense before the season started with Sauce, where we thought we were going to get from Jermaine and Will McDonald, we thought we had a pretty good defense.
Correct. But I'm concerned about the defense now.
Yeah. I mean, other than Minka, what have we really done to improve the secondary? And we had no 0 interceptions last year.
They drafted Pons, signed Deshaun Wright.
Right. So Pons replaces,
Minka's a big add, though.
Sauce.
You can't say like other than Minka. Like Minka's a big time addition to that room.
Well, but to me, it depends whether he's playing safety or whether he's playing the slot. He's a slot corner. I think he has more value in safety, but it seems like he's playing. I hope he does.
Well, I mean, they might line him up all over, but I think he's predominantly going to be a safety.
I definitely think. I hope so because otherwise, as much as I love Pons, you had some quality safeties there in round 2 that they could have taken. And it's easily the weakest part of the team is the safety room.
Agreed, but I think that's because he is a safety. They also signed Dane Belton in free agency. I think they like Malachi Moore. So I think you look at Pons playing the nickel. You have Azarie Thomas, and you have Brandon Stevens as your boundary corners. I think Brownlee's like the depth nickel piece. I mean, I think that's...
You want Brownlee starting. I'd have Pons starting on the outside and the Florida State guy on the bench. Have it be, Brownlee being the slot corner.
I think they view Azarie Thomas as a starter.
Because he's a starter, because they drafted him and they don't want to look like fools.
Well, I think both, but also, I mean, he was starting after they traded Sauce, and I didn't think he played poorly. He just got hurt.
All right. I hope you're right.
Well, I
All right,
just
congrats
think
on your Knicks
that's
win yesterday, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Jason. Good call. I just think that's how, like, if you look at their defense right now, they're going to be lined up. Like, I don't really see how else they could do it. Like, I know they said they're going to cross-train Pons. He could play out. I think he's going to be their starting nickel. And I think Deshaun Wright will get a chance. Let me say this. I think Wright and Azarie Thomas are competing for the starting spot opposite Brandon Stevens. Stevens, I think, is starting. Look at the contract he got. And while he struggled at the beginning of the year and we killed that signing, he did get a lot better as the year went on. He still wasn't very good, though, overall. I mean, he didn't have an interception. No one did. Defense was terrible. So we'll see. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Jay Perez in the raffle for one. What's up, Jay? He's in.
No, you're wrong. Wow, what the? Oof, that hurt. Where am I? The moon? Seriously?
Yeah. Jay, thank you. Let's get to more of your calls before we wrap this up. Last chance to get in on the conversation today. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Dirty in the truck. Hello, Dirty.
Jake. So first of all, got to give shout outs to the New York Knicks. I'm not a big basketball guy, but at the same point, I do understand. I do still play the game. So, look, I feel like the game got a little closer since Embiid was out. It allows Brunson not as much flexibility to hit that jumper. Embiid kind of he kind of falls back a little bit and allows Brunson to get that little extra space to, for anybody to shoot. So
no Mitchell Robinson either. So they don't have the alley-oop opportunity. They don't have the pick and roll game between the two of them. Like Mitch, not having Mitch and then Cat getting into foul trouble and Huck Porty getting into foul trouble. Like the refs muddied that game up to make it, a close game in the fourth. And then the Knicks found a way to get it done when the Sixers ran out of gas.
Yeah. I think it's good going into Philly with a 2-0 lead. It definitely helps, but I would prefer having Embiid back in. That kind of just helps the offense a little bit more. Sounds.
I don't know, man. They couldn't score at the end of the game last night. Like Maxey was tired and out of gas. Like Embiid's going to go for 30 basically every game he plays. Now you just never know if he's going to be able to finish the game or make it through. But when he plays, he's dominant.
Yeah, that's true. I will take it back though to New York Jets, bring it on to the game green though, and I actually sat next to VJ Payne at St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, and his family was nothing but like a genuine nice family. I don't know if it was his grandmother or his aunt, but she was hilarious, dude. VJ Payne was one of the guys that we saw that I was actually asking questions about at the combine to my co-host. And I was like, dude, I said, who is that? He's like, that's VJ Payne. And I said, how come I don't really hear too much about it? He's like, he's probably going to go later rounds. So I was like, yeah, he actually doesn't look too bad. Like he has some good measurables. And, I think this is a kid that can actually play this position really well. I think it's a really good late round sneak. I really do, to be honest. But I will say,
what type of steak was he eating?
I don't know if he was eating steak, dude. When I said they were like 15 deep into his table, there was like 15 deep. So I couldn't really see all the way over there. But I will tell you what I had. What is it, the shrimp cocktail with the horseradish over there?
Yep.
Have you heard of this?
That's what they're known for.
Oh my goodness! If you want your palate cleansed and you want your sinuses gone, that is what you have over there. That is exactly what you have over there.
It almost killed Antoine Staley when we went for dinner there 2 years ago.
But I'll tell you what, the food is excellent, absolutely excellent. So some of the best experiences I've ever had. But and last year we sat next to Dart. So we just keep sitting next to some pretty cool people while we're there. So
next year you'll be sitting next to Arch Manning.
Hopefully I'll be sitting next to you one day. That'd be great.
I know, Dirty. You gotta come say what up at the combine next year. We'll link up.
I do. Actually, we're already starting to book our not our flights, but our hotels now. This year we actually our room was across from Sean Payton's. A little wild stuff going on over there, by the way. NFL security was called a few times. Wild place over there. But I wanted to congratulate you on the March Madness brackets. It was very entertaining, sir. You did a very, very good job of keeping everything flowing and everything good as a host. You are one of the best. I commend you for reaching. I couldn't really tell if you're at 50,000 yet, but I don't see why you shouldn't be at this point. So I just wanted to say, great, amazing job so far in this 2026 season at the Jake Asman Show.
Dirty, you're the man. Very kind, my friend. Drive safe.
Yes, sir.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Shout out to everyone who was involved in Asmaniac Madness. Congrats again to our champ, Chef Kev. I sent Chef Kevin a winner's package yesterday, and when he gets all the things he received, I can't wait for him to show it off on the show. Cisco says the committee did fantastic. Amen. Not an easy thing to do. Shout out to Boomtown, especially for being our committee chair. I actually have some stats I've been meaning to read about Asmaniac Madness from Boom, but we've been pretty busy and I lost track of it here. So let me pull those up because we're on the topic right now. Might as well. Here are some Asmaniac Madness stats from the 2026 tournament. Hold on. Let me get this right. Graphic, please. Here we go. Some stats from Asmaniac Madness 2026. 34,601 votes were cast over the course of the tournament. Jets Johnny and his burners accounted for at least 35 of those votes, 5 rounds and 7 votes each. 4 overtime matches were needed to decide a winner, including 2 in the Elite 8 and 1 in the Final 4. Australian Jet Fan versus Mad Max was the first OT matchup. Leany versus Big Fella in the Elite 8. Gary versus Mr. Bonesy in the Elite 8. And Gary versus Charles Gorman in the Final 4. The highest voted matchups, not including overtime votes. 1,100 votes. Peter Castro versus Craig from Australia. Now, that one was especially voted on because that was a breaking news live stream, as was the Rob the Jet Fan versus Allen breaking news show. That had 989 votes. Chef Kevin versus Gary, 859 votes. That was our championship. So makes sense that had the most votes because that was the championship. The other 2 were during breaking news. So I think one of them was when Geno was acquired. So that obviously got a tremendous amount of live viewership. Gary versus Dave Brigas, 756 votes. Beastbreaker versus Leany, 735 votes. Biggest blowout in this year's tournament was Mr. Bonesy, 82. Michael Levinson, 18. Amanda Madison, 81. Jordan, 19. Jordan fell off a cliff. Where are you at, Jordan? Call in. Hopefully you're alive. PBM, 81. Jack Straw, 19. Big Fella, 80. Doug on the Couch, 20. Lane Train, 79. Jams, 21. Some new tournament records. First ever 16 seed to upset a 1 seed. Leany defeated the Beast. The furthest a 16 seed has ever made the tournament. Leany all the way to the Elite 8. First time a 1 seed actually made the final. That'd be Gary. Lowest seed to win the tournament. Chef Kevin as a 7 seed. Bonesy was a 3 a year ago. Best record combined from the first 2 Asmaniac Madness tournaments. Bonesy 9-1. Chef Kev 7-1. Gary 9-2. Big Fella 7-2. Gorman 6-2. King Lowski 6-2. Neil 5-2. Lane 5-2. Clifton 5-2. Castro 5-2. I love that we have combined records over 2 tournaments. Shout out again to Chef Kevin on being our champ, and a big thank you to Boomtown and the entire Asmaniac Madness committee for a tremendous tournament, giving us nonstop entertainment for 2 months. More of your calls, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? The man himself has arrived.
We're on break. I'm taking a 15-minute break after, let's see, picking up pine cones. If I almost stabbed myself a couple of times. That's okay. Spent $70 on ammunition. Yeah, I hit a gold mine today. Two things of chicken tenders, 2 pounds a piece. Cube steak, can't beat that. 2 things of bagels, can't beat that. 2 boxes of Cocoa Puffs, can't beat that. A box of Tricks, you can't beat that. Hell, even lunch meat, Crocus, and even some smoked turkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
What's up, Bees?
Tired. I'm on 15 minutes break right now, and then in 15 minutes, I'm going to crank the Craftsman 2000 and bust this shit up loose.
Bees, how the hell did you get a 15-pound?
This is what I do for a living, son.
How'd you get a 15-pound?
I got not 15
That's
pounds.
The
2 boxes worth. It was 3.
That's
hey,
a big
from
bag
Fair
of
Play.
Cocoa Puffs.
Hey, I'm gonna say this once. Hey, there's an old saying: "What you see is what you get." That's right. What you see is what you get.
All right. At least you're out of
If
the
you
house
don't,
today.
there's
man.
I'm a working man. I'm not like the rest of the. Hey, listen. I'm not like the rest of the cheap bastards that do nothing. I'm a man's man. I've done more spilling of blood on every single battlefield on the roster within the last 16, 17 years. Who do you think's done this? I put myself to the test, and hey, at least I'll still say it with no shame. At least someone has to do it.
All right,
at least someone can do it.
All right, Beast.
Damn
we're good.
right.
I'm good. We're good today. We could have another battle on
Good.
Monday when I'm off work. But not right now. I know
We'll
you're
see
doing
about.
your chores.
We'll
good
see.
for you, man. I'm proud of you.
No, it's called earning your keep. You ever hear of that old saying? It's called earning your keep, and plus, it's a sign of respect and wisdom and courage.
I like that.
Plus, I have to say,
I can't argue with that, Beast. I can't argue with that.
Plus, I want mine. You know what this show needs? This show needs its own magazine. And I'm talking the Asmaniac magazine.
Well, you're going to be on the cover with Gary, though, right? With the banana in the middle.
Yo, Paul, give me a fucking break. Are you kidding me? Let me just say this. Let me just say this for your information. If you thought Richard Gere and Julia Roberts was the hot thing, that 1990. Oh, let's see. Kate Winslet, Leonardo DiCaprio, 1997. Oh, let's see. Doug Heffernan and Carrie, 1998. Hey, even Xena, the Warrior Princess, and Hercules, 1999. They thought they were the couples of the year. Well, step aside for the next move, because the next big thing that walks the face of the earth and walks the face of this planet, Team Thunder. Let me say this: Queen Amanda, who rules the world, and a king like me. Front cover of the USA. You know why? The USA deserves Warriors. It's called. Hey, Warriors who.
You put your. Oh my God! What happened to Beast? Beast got to do his own thing for Amanda. Don't involve her in the chat, man. Anyways, yo, Jake, I got a point real quick. Not a point, just a couple questions. What's up with this year, man? I'm very excited with this offense. I'm telling you, I'm very confident. I think they're going to be just fine.
How many points per game are we
Everybody's all
scoring?
worried about Coach Glenn. I think he's going to do a freaking fantastic job with Wright.
How many points per game are we scoring, Brian?
I can't hear you now. What the hell?
Boy.
I can hear
Can
Beast.
you hear
Now I
me?
can't hear you.
You can hear Beast?
It's because Beast took out the sound.
Beast?
I was going to say 2026 will be
great out there, man.
Hey, in blue, let me say this. I'm the sexiest thing that walks the face of the earth.
You're wearing a Trump hat? Let me see your hat.
No. That's right.
All right.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby. I've been supporting Trump for 10 years, and you know what? Trump's doing the job that nobody else has the balls enough to do, because most of the other ones were, Chicken.
Yo, Beast, I'm gonna hook you up with this. Look, hold up. When we go to the tailgate, I'm gonna bring you some of these. Have you tried these?
What is that?
This is Peruvian soda, brother.
Whoa!
Straight from Peru.
Okay.
The
Straight
good
from
shit,
Peru.
not
All
that
right.
other sparkling shit you be drinking.
Well, lately I'm drinking. I'm drinking the probiotics because the probiotics is also a helper too because it's also helping with the body as well. You know, a lot of that counts.
True. You got to take it.
Hey!
What's up, Rooster?
What's up, Chap? How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Beast. How's the outdoors treating?
I'm halfway sore, but I don't give a rat's ass. It's called earn your keep.
Okay. I'm just sick today with that OG injury.
I can't hear you, Rooster. Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna join more like on Mondays. It's my day off. I'm
Can you
right
hear
home
me?
on my phone in the restaurant, so I really don't have I don't know what's going on with StreamYard.
I got you.
We lost Brian and Beast at the same time. I'm with you, Rooster. I keep checking online to see if there's anything on OG. Hopefully, it's nothing that.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is, Jake, with OG, and he is unbelievable.
And he was having an amazing playoff run.
Even I'm not worried about Philly. We're going to beat Philly even if we don't have OG. We could beat Philly, okay? If it's me, I'm not playing OG this weekend no matter what. And, we'll get 1 or 2. But the problem with OG is, let's say it's something he doesn't do well with nagging. Like, he just won't be the same. Like, that's the problem. It's a problem.
That's the playoffs, though, man. It's a war of attrition. All these teams got injuries.
Oh, I know, but that's just OG. That's just the guy he is.
Well, 2 years ago, they would have went to the conference finals against Indiana if he didn't get hurt in game 2 of the second round. Same thing last night.
I disagree with Mike Brown and the fouls. The reason why we had way more fouls because Philly let us dunk all over them. They wouldn't challenge. And sometimes, Cat, let it go. Let them dunk. Don't reach. We don't need. I had no complaints. We fouled every fucking time.
Well, the foul that Cat had at the beginning of the second quarter was terrible.
The Cat, which one was that one?
Right at the beginning of the quarter. And it was tough because you already didn't have Mitchell Robinson. Then Huck Porty was
the first foul he did when he stuck his leg out. The third foul he did. He does it. He's got to be better because he's also playing unbelievable. God, it's so sickening because, and I said to someone last night, I said, I'm not worried about this game because we're getting layups. We are getting layup after layup, and they got to shoot threes. And eventually, when you're playing these guys 40 plus minutes, their legs will go. George is an old man. I mean, and you saw it 1 for 10. But the Knicks is just never easy because with OG, honestly, healthy like this, you know how good we're playing. But listen, let's hope it's something that's.
Well, the playoffs are long, man. You get through the series, which I still think they can. They'll get Mitch back for the games.
Yeah, we'll get through Philly. What was I going to say about?
You're being called a rising star in the chat by Gary King, and then Cisco says, "When Rooster's on, I like to sit back and enjoy his calls." You become a phenomenon on the show, Rooster.
I appreciate it. I love the show. I love sports. I love New York. I love the.
What are we betting on today, Rooster?
Listen,
I lost by half a point on my prize pick lineup last night. All I needed was for Julius Randle to score 13 points. He scored 12. And because that game was a bloodbath, he didn't play in the fourth quarter. And I lost by a half a point on my prize pick lineup. Half a point. OG went over his point total. Who was the other Nick I had? Cat went way over his point total. All I needed was for Randle to score 13 points or more. He had 12.
I turned it off. They buried him. Did he not play in the fourth? Because
he didn't play because they were down 30.
That's gambling. It's the worst. You know what? I said Cleveland game 1. I'm going to go back to Cleveland game 2. They played so bad. I mean, you can't play any worse. I think they really do find a way to get a split versus Detroit. You know who's been good for Detroit in the playoffs is that Tobias, the kid from Long Island.
Yeah.
He's been real good.
Very good.
But I like Cleveland today. I also like Colorado. I don't think they get swept by the Mets, those scrubby Mets today. I think they find a way to get one. But
the Rockies stink.
What?
The Rockies stink.
They do stink. And it was funny. The Yankee lost yesterday. It was the first Yankee game. You're watching the Knicks. You don't even care. So the Yankees.
It was on Prime too. So
yeah, that makes it. The OG thing is because he's such a good guy and such a good player, but he gets these injuries. He just does. So sickening. I'm looking on TV. My kid is in Syracuse. He's graduating this week, and I'm going up.
Oh,
yeah, very exciting. Got him off the payroll, kind of. And
What
he's
is-
like,
what-
"Where the fuck is OG? Where is he?" I'm like, "I don't know. He's taking a shit." And then it all comes back. Boom, boom, boom. And you just,
What did he study at Q's? What's his
he
degree?
was an economics major at Syracuse.
Nice.
Yes, and he he had a good run there and loved it. I was a Syracuse guy. Didn't like the basketball for 4 years. Couldn't believe, what I sent him there with Syracuse basketball, but hopefully that changes. What did you think of the coordinators talking yesterday? I mean, I thought it was, is what it is, right?
Adult in the room is how I would describe Frank Reich. And then
Okay.
Duker is basically a glorified coffee getter, it sounded like.
Yeah. And listen, let's talk about the beast. He's really been on attack mode, even more so lately. I feel he's attacking everybody. Are we worried that he might attack someone for real or no?
He goes through moments where he's in attack mode, and then he's also giving you the lighter side. Did you see his puppet show yesterday that he performed?
I did not. Is that worth going back and looking? Was it
Definitely. So you never know what you're going to get with the beast. Show to show, hour to hour of said show, his mood could change.
Oh, okay, good. Listen, rookie weekend. Let's have some fun with the Jets. Let's hope the OG news is okay. We got a great show here, boys. Is Gary been on? I want my Gary health check is.
Yes. Gary's been on. Don't worry. He called in yesterday.
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay. Well, tell Gary wherever you are. I love you, buddy. Keep fighting the good fight.
Rooster, you're the man.
Bye, buddy.
The Rooster, check it in. Rooster's become one of my favorite callers very quickly. I think he's hilarious. I'm excited to see when Gator eventually does an intro for Rooster, what that looks like. Because the name the Rooster, you got a lot of different things you could do. Brian checking in. Chef Brian. What's up, Brian? Good call before. Beast, I'm proud of you. I'll bring you Inca Cola, brisket, and ribs for the tailgate at MetLife. Hope you can come down. I'm cool with getting a fun setup for Beast transportation. The goal is to get Beast to a game this year, 100%. Now, Lou B says he's going to handle all of it, but we're going to figure something out. Cisco says the normal Beast bipolar. That is Beast. M. Deriz Lizzie, or M. Deter Lizzie, says Gary busy crying. Gary did call in yesterday. Oscar the Grat says Rooster, one of the better callers on the show. Lord says OG out remainder of the series. That's not official yet. You're just speculating. He could be out. He could look. Let's just hope that it's not something that's weeks, right? Hopefully it's day to day. The Knicks aren't required to send their injury report until 5 p.m. today. So do I think there'll be a leak before that? Sure. But I don't know if we're going to get an answer just yet. Are we caught up on the super chats? I believe we are. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is this show's over. The good news is we have 3 shows today. Join me on the Jets Collective with Samini and BT at 2:30. And then I'm back on our channel here with Dylan Terriman at 4:30. So Jets talk galore, even in May. It doesn't matter. The show must go on. By the way, shout out to IndaCloud for sponsoring our show. They are a fully legal online cannabis dispensary. They got gummies, premium pre-rolls, 0 sugar, THC sodas, sleep gummies. Check it out. Great way to take the edge off without everything getting out of hand. Everything's legal, lab tested, shipped discreetly right to your door. Biggest sale of the year is going on right now. So if you're 21 or older, go to their website. It's linked in the description, but it's indacloud.co. That's .co, not .com. Use my promo code Asman, 40% off your first order. Again, indacloud.co, code Asman, 40% off all month long. Free shipping on orders over $50 and free gifts on qualifying orders. Make sure you tell them you found them through the Jake Asman Show. Shout out to IndaCloud for supporting our program. All right, we're back at 2:30. Jets Collective YouTube channel. You guys are the best. Thanks for being here, but I'm not leaving you empty-handed. Sit back and enjoy a blast from the past. Ladies and gentlemen, we end the show with some life lessons from one of the all-time greats, our friend Scott.
It's time for some life lessons with Scott.
Hello, Scott. How are you?
Bill Parcells had a horse here. Years ago, I was doing pest control. So I'm spraying around this pool, and you can tell it's his house. Of course, my pants fall down. They're clapping and hooting and hollering. I get a call back from the office and go, hey, Scott, are you spraying with your pants off? Because people are calling in because your pants are down, looking at your legs and your underwear. I was like, yeah, I'm spraying with my pants down. They wanted me to flex and shit, so I did. Show off my legs. I'm worried about our right guard.
Scott, how do you go back to talking about football?
I just weighed myself at the gym. What we're doing is this. So I got to get my fat ass into shape. I'll have my workouts taped.
What is the goal?
I want to be sat down. An entity comes in. It's Mother Nature. And I'm sitting down in this cave, and there's like the ambiance of all the here we go, Gator. Fireflies are lighting up like candles. I am who you think I am. I am Mother Nature herself. From the deep sea creatures to my land beasts to all swarms, everything that nourishes and grows, creatures of flight. That's the shit you start with. I'm starting to get my world-class legs back again. My legs are awesome. I'm going to say this one time. I'm going to get into shape. Muscularity, thickness. I've been homeless twice. So what I'm telling you is that when they say you can't do shit, no. Anyone who has ailments and physical disabilities, you're limitless. I hope it helps somebody. If it helps somebody, that's all that matters.
God bless, Scott.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing from you again and following the fitness journey.
Well,
are you with all the ducks right now? There's a lot of quacking going on.
There was 2 ducks fighting. The youngsters are swimming, but yeah, we're out there. So there's our youngsters. Should I ask them if they want to go on YouTube? Excuse me, ladies. NFL Jet Football Talk on YouTube. It's live. Do you want to go on and just say hello to YouTube?
No, thank you.
Oh.
I thought you were going to ask the ducks if they wanted to come on the show, not the 2 ladies at the park.
You know what? Generation Z and X, it's like, look, guys, and these people looked at me like I'm kind of crazy and shit. I got to get in shape, IV, liquid water. There.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little bit. Whatever. 6-pack of abs. It's not working.
Take it easy there, Scott. Scott.
I know you're going to see them because they're going to look amazing. Like Bobby Midnight set. He's a big ball of crap.
Well, Scott, thanks for calling. I'm glad day 1 of the workouts went well, and you're still not banned from the park.
Never forget it.
I never will. Thank you. Hello, Scott.
Oh, like I said, pest control when I was spraying his house and my pants fell down. I got to go to the gym.
Scott, thank you for the time. What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Scott, who's called back in. Hello, Scott. 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 Let me try and wake him up. Hold on. Didn't work. Let's see if he's awoken. Scott, you're up next. Hello, Scott. Hey.
Oh, hey. No, I'm awake. It just with the underwear.
Yes.
Did you like that? That's nothing, dude. I've been kicked out of 2 zoos. In a cage, there was a male tiger and a male lion. The male tiger didn't like me. He tried to pee on me, the male lion. Now, that's a rope about like this thick that shot out about 8 to 10 feet. I got kicked out of that one.
Oh, no. We can't lose Scott mid-second story on why he was banned from a zoo.
And those were just a few life lessons from Scott.
Oh, my bad, everybody.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets!